Let's talk about 3 things you could do in 2026 that can take your photography or your creative business to the next level. If you're just meeting me for the first time, my name is Mayo too. I'm a creative coach. I help photographers, videographers, filmmakers, and all those kind of people make sense of their business. Really, building simple strategies that help them make money. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things, not 4, not 5, just 3 things that if you put them to action in the next couple of weeks, you will see optimal results in your business in 2026. Let's get it started. Number 1, the first thing you need to think about is your mindset. Because at the end of the day, you are as strong or as weak as your mindset. Because the thing that you're trying to achieve is first of all won or lost right here. If you tell yourself and you believe it over time that you are not good enough to get a particular result, no matter who you get as your coach, you will not get the results. If you tell yourself and over time get to believe that people like you do not deserve things like this, it will be difficult for a coach to get you the result that you want. If you believe in yourself that where I come from, we don't achieve these kind of things. We do not call this amount of money. We do not get to work on projects like this. We do not get to do things like this. Is it not small me? Is it not people, my small place? Is it not... If you allow that mentality to creep in into your subconscious and now becomes a part of you, no matter what you're going to do, you will not be able to win. So the mindset is the first thing that you need to target. How do you do that? You need to ask yourself, do I have any limiting beliefs? Because you see the thing about limiting beliefs, you don't know you have it until you are in the space where you're negotiating. You don't know you have it until you're in a space where someone wants to hire you for something bigger. You do not know that you have limiting beliefs until a certain amount of money is being mentioned and all of a sudden, it pops out and you're like, my God. Pause. So, sorry for disturbing your YouTube video that you were watching, but I have to tell you this. If you're a photographer, you're a creative business person, a filmmaker, whatever you're doing, but you're struggling to make money, I have something for you. If you send me a DM, we could book a session and we can change that thing for you. We have results that we have done and given to people all over the world, not just in Nigeria alone, in the UK, in the US, in Canada. It doesn't really matter. Business principles do not respect geographical boundaries. What we know is that once you apply the strategy, it will work. So there's a link under this video. Click on that link, book a session, and let's fix your creative business. You can now go back to the video and enjoy the rest of it. Let me give you an example. You know, you're doing a business and most of your clients pay you 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira there on a very good day. Or you get a wedding, it's like 200, and that's a great day. Then all of a sudden, someone wants to hire you, calls you to the office, you guys talk, your work is good, I love what you're doing, the color grading, everything that you're doing around your work is good. And then how much do you charge? Once the person says, how much do you charge? You know what happens to your brain? It freezes off. Once your brain freezes, you're now starting to shake. The same thing that you would have said, like you say your name. Because, take for example, if someone asks you, what's your name? You don't say, my name is this, but my grandma calls me that. My grandpa. You just say your name, right? This person will now ask you, how much do you charge? You freeze. Then you go, we have for 200,000, but we have another one for 100,000, but there's another one for 50,000. All in a second. At least, or at most, 5 seconds. And this person is actually thinking, am I going to believe the 200K? Am I going to believe the 100K or the 50K? What am I going to believe? And you're also shaking that, oh my God, I can even do it for 20. The problem is not that you're not comfortable in saying your price. The problem is that you've not seen other people make 10 times of what you're calling. The problem is an internal problem. It's a mindset thing. It's a limiting belief thing. That you've looked at yourself in the mirror and you've judged yourself even before you talk to this client. that people like you do not get money past this place. And that is a very terrible place to be in, because you know by yourself that you are great. You know that your work is good. People tell you that it's good, but you cannot believe that you cannot get to command a certain amount of money because your mind cannot fathom it. What's the solution I give to these people, to people that work with me? I always tell them this. It's a very simple thing. I say, whatever amount that you have in your head that people pay people, multiply that number by 10. Somebody has paid someone that money before. You're never going to be the first. Let me say it slowly. Whatever amount you have in your head, I don't know the figure, I don't want to know. All I know is that multiply that amount by 10. Somebody, a client somewhere, has paid someone that does the same thing that you do, that amount before. You are not going to be the first to ask. Because it's simple psychology. Let's say you're going through a road and there is a stream on that road, there's a water or a river, there's a bridge for a footpath, for someone to just walk past it. But as you're going, you realize that nobody is using the bridge. Everybody, instead of going, when they get to where the bridge is, they move off the bridge and enter the water. The first thing your mind will tell you is that the bridge is not safe. Even when you know that the water is no more safer than the bridge. But because every other person is using the water, not the bridge, you would leave not going on the bridge. You would get into the water. Why is that? Because your mind is as a mind, like our mind is being programmed to work with things that are familiar. What we see other people do, we tend to do those things. So when it comes to the pricing, because you've not seen people call a certain amount of money, clients pay a certain amount of money, you believe those things are not possible. You hear people say, forget it, it's boboing you, because it is not your reality. That's why I always start with, listen to me. Any amount that you have in your head, multiply by 10, they have paid someone that money before, and that's the fact. So once you actually acknowledge that someone has gotten 10 times what you have in your head, what is then holding you back from asking this particular price? Not the 10 times, just your one piece. Because what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is rejection, which is we cannot afford you, or we will move on to find some other person. And the good thing about that is that now they know your price. They can go and tell other people, this is this person's price. And you don't need to bring down yourself because you're looking for one person, a particular client. The thing about business is that there are lots of people who can pay for what you're doing. The problem is that you are not positioning for them, which then brings me to number 2, positioning. In this business, everybody is trying to chase clients. You're listening to people say, oh, I need to chase this client. I need to go and chase this client. You do not chase clients that pay you a certain amount of money. So what you do instead is you attract them. There's a difference between attracting a client and chasing a client. That's what we talk about in Clarity HQ. Your ability to go from being someone that chases clients, you're always, please can you come and do this? My client is on your timeline. Please can you share it? My client might be on your timeline. Can you reshare my post? Please, it doesn't cost $10 for you to reshare my... You're chasing. But that is not what brings the client that pays the money. What brings the client that pays the money is attraction. You position yourself in a place that you can attract the people that want and can afford to pay you what you're looking for. So positioning is like, think about you're going into a secondary school today, right? Secondary schools, they close by, in Nigeria, like 2 p.m. Every 2 p.m., most of the people that sell things like ice cream, yogurt, they tend to leave all the other places that they were and go straight with their bicycle, with their coolers, with their cars to secondary schools. Why do you think they do that? It is a place where they can see a good number of people that want what they sell and are ready to pay for it. So by them positioning there, they are not chasing the students, they are attracting the student to themselves. That is the thing that will keep you from making money in 2026 if you keep chasing. Because when you chase, it smells and reeks of desperation. And the thing about being desperate is that you take deals you're not supposed to take. You take disrespect you're not supposed to take. You work with clients that are not great clients. People always think that it's only client that fires creative. Creative people and business people fire clients all the time. Look, we are not a good fit. I cannot work with you. But if you're desperate, if you're chasing, whatever clients you catch, you take it like that. But if you know how to position, you are positioning for a certain group of people. So you know that if I'm into corporate events, you know how to position for corporate events. If I'm into weddings, you know how to position for weddings. If I'm into destination weddings, you know how to position for destination weddings. If you're into newborns, you know how to position, not chase, position, so that the people that want that thing and are ready to pay for that thing, that understand the value of what you are putting out, will seek you out. So the thing that makes people the most money are the clients that seek you out. I am looking for so. Where can I find this person? So when they are specific, they get to you. Let me tell you something. Clients that are not really clear on what they want are the most, let me use the word troublesome. They're the most troublesome set of clients. They are not clear on what they want. They might not have the money. That's why when I hear people say that big clients don't stress people, because the good clients don't stress you because they are clear on what they want. They know exactly what they want. They're not saying, just go with the flow. The people that pay a lot of money don't go with the flow. They understand structure. They understand flow. They understand what they want to get out of the thing that they are doing with you. That now in turn makes your work easier, makes your work better, because better clients make you do better work. And you can only get better clients by positioning, not by chasing. So stop chasing clients. Stop chasing people. Another way people chase clients is that I have a discount. It's 20% discount today, 30% discount today. Great businesses don't run discount and promos every time because they don't need to chase people. They are not forcing your hands to pay them. They are not forcing you to do business with them. What they are doing instead is that they curate a certain experience, a certain product, a certain value, and then look for people that need that thing and present it in the form, in the manner, in the state that those people will recognize that this is something valuable to them. Which then brings me to the third one, value. If you don't understand what value means to the person that you're trying to turn into your client, the possibility of you making money is zero. I'll say it again. If you don't understand what value means to the client that you seek to serve, the possibility of you making money is zero. Because you're thinking, let's say you're a photographer, you're a wedding photographer, you're thinking that the people that are looking for you are looking for wedding pictures. People are not looking for photographs. People are looking for different things. So there's a client that will look for pictures, of course. There's a client that will look for experience, of course. There's a client that will look for social validation. There's a client that will look for status signaling. But if you don't know the kind of client that you are trying to seek to serve in the first place, it will make it difficult for you to know what value means to them and how you can incorporate that value into either your business experience or your business product. Because there are two ways to actually put in the value of what you do into what you do. You need to think about it. Can I put this value around my services? which is the experience? Can I put this value around my product, which is something tangible, the deliverables? Once you understand if this client wants more of the value to be around the product, not around the experience, and you mix them up, you will not be able to land that client. You need to, first of all, ask yourself, who am I trying to serve? I always say, start with who. I know there is a famous person that says start with why, right? Of course, it's great to start with why. But when you are in the creative business, you're a photographer, you're a filmmaker, you're a makeup artist, you're into the creative space, you need to ask yourself, who am I trying to serve? Because that particular question will be the definition of what value you're going to put into the things that you do. Because if someone seeks value in money, monetary terms, right, then discount is a good thing to place as value for them. If another person seeks social validation, then the price does not matter when it comes to that person. If the person seeks status signaling, then the price does not matter when it comes to social signaling, except he wants to use the price to signal the other person. But you need to understand, who am I trying to serve in the first place, and what do those people consider as value? Because, photographers always say, charge your word, give value. Videographers say, add value. But if you add the wrong value to the wrong client, you're not going to get the result. So first, you need to identify the who, and then ask yourself, with this person, what do they consider as value? Because the people that hire photographers like Jose Villa, their value is different from the photographers that hire someone that just wants to take pictures of their wedding. Do you get me? There are photographers that people would never hire, and there are photographers that some people will never be able to afford, but other people are hiring them. So the value is not in the work itself, in the creative expression. Of course, it's part of the building up of the thing, but the value is in the set of people you're trying to serve. What do those people consider as value? Not what you as a photographer consider as value. Because in your mind, you might think, I shoot the best lighting setup. I have the best framing, the best composition, the best color scheme. I understand symmetry. I understand. Those are grammar. Or you say, I make my clients feel at ease. But if you know how to make your client feel at ease, they love the experience, but these clients are not the clients that want those things. Those things are not important to them. What is important to them is that I don't have to spend all my money trying to hire a photographer for a wedding. You see, all of these things that you're going to talk about, the experience you're going to give to them does not matter to them. They don't care. All they care is that, you see this money that I have? I don't want to be broke after I'm done paying this wedding photographer. So if those are your kind of people, you need to curate what value looks like for them and put it in your offer. So that way you can be able to know that you'll be able to land them as your client. And if, on the other side, the clients you're seeking are the people that pay a lot of money, they love to belong to a certain social strata, they love social signaling and status-driven kind of value, which is now the symbolic value, you need to think about, how do I incorporate symbolic value into the things that I do? So once you fix those three things, we start with the mindset, the positioning, and the value. You know that you're good and you're ready for 2026. If I want to give you a bonus tip right now, I should give you a bonus tip, right? So for the people that watch to the very end, this is the bonus tip. One thing you need to understand that will wrap all of this up is perception. How people perceive you is how they will treat you, and it's how much they are willing to pay for what you do. Perception is king. Don't allow anybody make you believe otherwise. The people that you rate a certain way is because of the perception that you have about them. The filmmakers that you rate a certain way is because of the perception that you have about them. And you need to understand that you can curate and orchestrate this perception that people have about you. Because at the end of the day, the truth is, whether you are intentional about it or you're not intentional about it, people would still have a perception about you. But the good thing is that if you are now intentional and curate what you want people to feel about you, what you want people to say about you, what you want people to perceive about your brand, those are the people that would win in the long run. So don't think about it as is a good to have. It's not a good to have. Perception building is a must if you're going to succeed in the creative space. Because the difference between the photographer that they will pay 10 million naira for a wedding and the one that they will actually drag and say 700,000 is most of the time might not necessarily be the technical difference, like there are better pictures or not, or those kind of things. It's based off on perception. And the people that nail their perception are the people that take the top jobs. So the top jobs don't go to everybody. Don't go to you because you deserve it. Because this business is not about what you deserve. It's what you position yourself and build a perception around so that people get to respect that. And then now say, for this person, I don't have this person's money, I will not go to him. Or this is the person I want, I will go and save money, then I'll come for this person. If you use those 4 things I asked you and put them into the business you're trying to do, whether you are a baby photographer, newborn photographer, or you are a wedding photographer, or you are a wedding filmmaker, or a documentary filmmaker, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. If you take those 4 principles and embed them into what you do, you see the best result in 2026. This is me wishing you a very fruitful year ahead. Go do great things. I'm rooting for you, and God bless you. Bye-bye.